Welcome, my political friends of the interwebs. I'm really sorry I've been MIA. I have had this illness, this mysterious illness. I think it was called the holy shit, Obama got reelected to 4 more years influenza. It was, I'm not kidding you, it was like a flu. It was tragic. For the whole country. Actually, for the whole world. I don't know why. Every time I turn the camera on, I'm like, I don't like where this is at. All right, here we go. Here we go. Listen, for those of you who have been with me for any length of time, what I'm about to say is not going to shock you at all. For those of you who are fairly new to my channel, you might have your eyes opened up, so pay attention. Listen, what brings me to you today? Well, I'll tell you what. Drudge. Matthew Drudge. I go to Drudge every day. And for the most part, I kind of survey the situation that's going on. And every now and again, something just gets my blood boiling, which is the case as we speak. Here's one of the leads. Congress demands EPA's secret email accounts. Okay, listen. Barack Hussein Obama, the Obama administration, was supposedly going to be, remember 4 years ago, they were going to be the most transparent administration ever. Yeah. Now, that didn't happen. In fact, not only did it not happen, they have done more backroom, closed doors, behind-the-scenes dealing than anybody since Richard Nixon. I'll be honest with you. I hate to soil Richard Nixon's name by even bringing Obama into it. I mean, seriously, Obama makes Nixon look like a freaking choir boy. Literally, a choir boy. It makes me sick. Here's the deal. Lisa Jackson, who was appointed 4 years ago to be the director of the Environmental Protection Agency by the President of the United States at the time, which was, and still is, Barack Hussein Obama. Now, just a little FYI, Lisa Jackson's a nut job. She is a hardcore left-wing enviro nut. Make no mistakes about that. Lisa Jackson literally would like to take us back to the Stone Age. And I'm not exaggerating when I say that. Even if she doesn't realize that her policies will accomplish that, okay, and then she may be that stupid, I don't know. But even if she doesn't realize that that's what her policies will end up doing to the United States, that is exactly what will happen. So Lisa Jackson, the director of the Environmental Protection Agency, appointed once again by the anointed one, by Barack Hussein Obama, apparently sovereign over the United States now. She literally is a nut. And by the way, this goes to the whole transparency thing. The reason she's using what amounts to sock puppets is to make sure nobody sees exactly what she's up to. And here's the thing. Remember those East Anglian emails that were discovered by Assange's group, whatever the hell they called themselves, I don't even remember anymore, where they had these scientists joking back and forth with one another about certain things like, hey, that green conference in Tahiti, those are the ones you really want to go to, of course, blowing carbon all over the place so they could go to these junkets that were paid for by, mostly taxpayers of some country. That's the kind of stuff that none of them want to be attached to anymore. So Lisa Jackson can have open and frank discussions with the other nut jobs. And they can discuss things like, now my windows are shutting down. I must have hit something. But they can discuss things like banning fracking. Yeah, the thing that actually makes natural gas less expensive and more abundant. Clearly, they're actually in the open about banning the whole. I'm sorry, I'm very easily distracted. My computer's doing some goofy stuff, but they're actually okay and open with the whole war on coal thing. They're completely cool with that. But I will tell you. I'm sorry. I don't know what the hell just happened. But I will tell you, but the other things on their agenda, I don't think they really want everybody to know about. I said this eons ago, that the exact same people and the exact same methods that they use to destroy the coal industry will be the exact same thing that they do to destroy the fracking industry. And remember this, Without fracking, you don't have an ocean of natural gas, and you don't have a lot of the oil production, especially in places like North Dakota, which is becoming an extremely important oil producing state for us. See, they don't want that. They don't want that at all. They don't want the United States exploiting any of our natural resources because it's all about Mother Earth. It's all about their nut job, left-wing, Greenpeace, Sierra Club loving bullshit. It's exactly what it is. So you got Lisa Jackson, who, by the way, in my opinion, is pretty cool. Let me read this here. I'm not going to read the whole article because that would be a copyright infringement, but I'll read this. A House committee has launched an investigation into whether EPA Administrator Lisa Jackson used an email alias, also known as a sock account, to try to hide correspondence from open government requests and her agency's own internal watchdog. Something that Republican lawmakers said could run afoul of the law. Well, first of all, cut the bullshit. It is against the law. You can't be the administrator of a major, the EPA. You can't be the administrator of the EPA. Use sock puppet accounts to get around to skirt the whole open correspondence laws. That's just crazy. That's just absolutely crazy. It goes on to say, the Science Committee has asked Mrs. Jackson, or Miss Jackson, I guess she's not married. I think she's a lesbian. Not that it matters, but whatever. Anyway. Anyway, I'm just going to keep this professional. No, I'm not. But anyway, Miss Jackson to turn over all information related to an email account under the name of Richard Windsor. She kind of looks like a Richard. No, actually, no, she doesn't. I look like a Richard. She does not look like a Richard. Which is one of the aliases identified by a researcher looking into the EPA. So here's the deal, and I guarantee you Obama was completely cool with this because they are not the most transparent administration ever. They're absolutely not. They're conniving bastards who are looking to destroy this country. I don't know that there's any other way to look at it. Lisa Jackson undoubtedly was having all kinds of conversations. I hope and pray that she gets nailed to the cross on this. I hope and pray these emails from this Richard Windsor comes out, and I hope there's all kinds of stuff in there about, well, after Brock gets reelected, we can do X, Y, and Z, because I guarantee you that's exactly what's going down. That is exactly what's going down. Now, why is all this important? Well, first of all, most Americans are too freaking stupid. I'm sorry. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I'm going to lay it out. I don't give a shit. At least half this country, about at least 51% of the country, are too freaking stupid to understand what the future holds. They're too freaking stupid to read a roadmap because it's all laid out for you. Here's the thing. What makes us great is our ability to produce things. Now, I know over the last 20 years that ability has really been diminished. But the fact of the matter is that in order to produce things and compete on a global scale, you have to have cheap energy. There's no getting around that. Windmills and unicorn farts are not cheap energy. They're expensive energy. Okay? They are expensive energy. What is cheap energy is coal, is natural gas, and could be oil if we were allowed to exploit our oil to the extent that we have it. I mean, we make Saudi Arabia look like a oil of nothing. I mean, literally, we are huge when it comes to oil. Now, look, Russia's figured it out. Putin's figured it out. I mean, that's why he's making a run for the Arctic and taking those natural resources. Literally, stealing them is what he's doing. Of course, this administration doesn't give a rat's ass for two reasons. One, Barack Obama is a pussy. He's scared to death of Vlad, scared of him. I mean, listen, Vladimir flew Russian bombers into North American airspace. We did nothing. He had a freaking nuclear submarine off our coast for a month. We did nothing. Because Obama doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know what to do. And Vladimir, listen, he's old school. He's former lieutenant colonel in the Russian KGB. He knows how this game's played. He does. And you know what? Guess what? He's won. The oil in the Arctic, it belongs to him now. And oil is gold. Plain and simple. So here's the thing. So we're being denied the rights to our own natural resources to be able to compete globally. We're basically being forced to compete with both our hands tied behind our backs. It's ridiculous. So Lisa Jackson's got all these emails, and I can only imagine what's being said. I guarantee you what's being said. I would love to have seen the ones before. In fact, I pray to God this comes back to haunt the Obama administration, because I can guarantee you one of the things that's being said is, after he gets reelected, after Obama gets reelected, we're going to be able to do something about that darn fracking, because that's evil. Yeah, you take fracking away, and I know this. I have 3 natural gas wells. I personally literally own 3 natural gas wells, so I know a little something about it. And I will tell you that you take fracking away, you're screwed. You're not going to get production like you were getting, and the price of natural gas will go from what it is today to $16, $17, $18 a thousand cubic feet of BTU. Guaranteed. And it'll happen, will seemingly be overnight. You take fracking away, and that's what happens. So now here's the thing. Coal companies are out of business now. Most of them are they're literally on their knees bleeding to death. You've got coal burning power plants that are being shuttered all over the country in a situation that they can't burn coal anyway under the environmental regulations set up by Lisa Jackson and Barack Obama. If you eliminate fracking, if you eliminate the ability to create electricity with natural gas, which, right now is our next best bet, where are we at? Literally, where are we at? Because I'm telling you right now, no matter how much money General Electric's going to make selling wind turbines, it's never going to replace the fossil fuel generation. It's just not. And the same thing goes for solar panels. It's not there. If it was, I'd be all for it, but it's not. So what does that mean? Well, that means that our power, our energy is going to be extremely, extremely expensive. So who cares, right? Well, let's assume that you could actually pay your electric bill. Let's assume that wasn't an issue. Let's assume that you didn't get the same kind of shock when you open up your electric bill as you get when you go to the gas pump. Let's just assume that was the case. Here's the problem. Companies that manufacture things on a large scale. I'm talking factories. I'm not talking little light I'm talking big companies, big factories. They use an enormous amount of electricity. All that has to go into the bottom line. See, that's the thing about these Greenpeace lefty loons. Well, Democrats in general, it's like they don't understand. It's like the Papa John's thing. They're like, well, a couple of cents of pizza shouldn't kill them. Really? Most businesses make their profit on the pennies. I know it adds up to lots of money, but it's pennies per. I mean, the profit margins anymore, especially in today's world, are paper thin. So if you take into account the cost of energy going through the roof, what's going to happen? Well, I'll tell you what's going to happen. Manufacturing is going to leave this country. I remember when Ross Perot had said in the debates way back when that with NAFTA there'd be this giant sucking sound. And he was right, by the way. Of course, I don't think he really foreseen the China situation, because it was a giant sucking sound, but a lot of that sucking went over to Asia, But that's what you're going to see. You're going to have companies that are manufacturing goods right now. They're not going to be able to afford to absorb that cost for electricity. They're not going to be able to afford that high-priced energy. So what's going to happen? Well, it's simple. They're going to move to China. They're going to move to Mexico. They're going to move somewhere where they can actually afford to manufacture products. I mean, it's not like there's any give as far as wages go, because you got the unions that are doing what unions do, putting companies like Hostess out of business. Yep. It is what it is. So here's the thing. So you got Lisa Jackson, who, by the way, should resign. If it's shown, well, I think she should resign, period. But if it's shown that she was literally using sock accounts, if she had an email account called Richard Windsor, so she could go without worrying about open records requests, which are the law. If that's proven, she's got to go. She has to resign, and I mean now. Of course, whether it's United Nations Ambassador Rice or Lisa Jackson, these people can lie, cheat, do whatever they want to do. Whatever they want to do, because Barack's got their back. And the media's got Barack's back. Yeah, It's insane. But what's happening and what's going to happen, what you have seen recently with businesses closing, with companies cutting back hours on employees, cutting back employees, laying people off, letting people go. That's going to start snowballing. And you take Lisa Jackson, get her into the mix of this whole thing. I don't even know what kind of world we live in. I just don't know. I don't even know where we're at with time-wise, but like I said, I was fired up. I just, this EPA stuff drives me crazy. You guys know that. That's a big block. Back there, that's a big block of Southeast Kentucky coal. The miners that mined that coal are all unemployed right now because of Lisa Jackson and because of Barack Obama. They're not working. They're not able to pay their freaking bills because of these idiots. I just don't know what to say other than I hope they nail it to the cross. But it's so hard to do because you need the media to do their job, which they've advocated. They have no intention. They're, for all intents and purposes, Pravda. You need. I don't know. I don't even know what you need anymore. We need these people out, but we blew our chance to get rid of them. Mainly because, one, the media didn't do their job, and two, we have allowed the children. That's a whole another video. Indoctrination is running wild. I gotta go. I'll try to make more videos. I'll talk to y'all later. See ya!